Afternoon. This is LaWanda Wells Butler. I am bringing some study guides for end of the year for ELA, 8th grade ELA. And we're going to look at some of the standards and we're going to find the key words and the things that we need to know from those standards. Our first standard, RL or RI 8.1. And the RI is reading information, RL reading literature from here forth. 8.1, the key things that we need to know about that is when we see the word cite and textual evidence. Anytime it tells us to support or justify an answer, it is asking for us to cite. Well, how do I cite? Where you find the information from, what paragraph, what page, that is your cite. And the textual evidence is actually the lines or the paragraph where you find the information. On a test, it may look like select the two best answer that supports your choice A answer. And then they will have quotations around the lines for you. Okay? 8.1, cite and textual evidence. Next, we have RL and RI 8.2. 8.2, that is a two-part standard. Your first part is central idea, what the author wants the reader to know most. What the author wants the reader to know most. I said that twice because oftentimes we will read what we want into something, but it's not about what we want to know. It is what the author wants us to know. The second part is objective summary, and the key word is objective. And we know that the sum is the total of the whole thing. Keep in mind that an objective summary only represents the facts, and you should do at least 3 to 5 sentences with a solid introduction, supporting evidence, and a conclusion. And all of that must be based on facts. And if I'm going to give factual evidence, which is textual evidence, I must cite as well. Okay? Coming to our next standard, we have RI and RL 8.3. And that is all about making connection, analyzing and making connection. When we analyze, we actually take apart the story, kind of like what the author wants us to do next. It'll be great if you do like a T-chart and you can do most important, least important, and that will help you organize your thoughts. And then you can make connection going from line to line. That would be our next standards coming up, where we actually have to separate standards. Okay, going to the next one. RL 8.4. That is one of the most well-known standards because it deals with words, vocabulary meanings, figurative language, allusions, analogies, and word choice. Analogies are very important, especially when you get to grad school. Miller's analogy test, you can look it up. But we have to show connections between words. When I say connections, I mean relationship. What is the relationship? For example, battery is to car as brain is to, if you guess body, you're correct. Because without the battery working in a correct, or motor, working in a correct way, the car is not going to crank. And before we can ever get started with school, then we literally have to get our brain in motion. Okay? Ask your science teacher about that. Allusions, hint or references to a historical reference, the Bible, mythology, a famous singer, painter, things of that nature. Word choice. Guys, when you write, please make sure that your word choice equal your grade level. Look it up. You Google everything else, Google that too. Okay? All right. For instance, we don't want a lot of, we want a variety. We want a Mildred, okay? So keep word choice in mind when you write. Have a blessed one.